All right, everybody, how y'all doing? Welcome to another edition of SWAC Smoke. I'm your boy C Wells. Got DJ in the house, and we're gonna just talk about a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm kind of under the weather today. Been traveling for the last 2 days, not consecutively, but the last 2 days. If you add the time up, so I'm glad to be back in my home space and finally not moving around. So how you doing today, DJ?
Doing pretty good. Finally getting over the SWAC losing in the Celebration Bowl, but I'm bouncing back.
Oh yeah, that was a rough one, man. I guess we don't have to spend too much time on it because it's already been past. I guess the
Yeah,
expiration date to really talk about it. But I was honestly surprised, man. I just knew that second half run was gonna be
yeah,
coming because South Carolina State, they looked at early like they didn't even belong on the same field, especially offensively, man.
right.
I was really about to turn it off when Jackson State went up 7-0, and because they looked like they finally was hitting their stride. But South Carolina State had a game plan, they stuck to it. That boy Shaq Davis, I think he made himself some money. I don't know what his classification is, but I think he made himself some money. So he put on a show, man. He definitely put on a show.
Yeah, he did that, and that's against Jackson State DBs. That's not a good look.
Oh no,
I
man!
said,
Like you talking about probably the top secondary in the conference, and he worked on everybody. It wasn't just one
yeah,
guy. He moved around and they moved people around, and he gave them a lot of problems, man. And it was a one man show because they really didn't have a great running game, and they didn't really throw to too many other people. But he did work, man. So I had to give him his respect on that.
yeah, he did that. I think they played a decent second half team wise all around, and like you said, we normally look for that Jackson State run in the second half. It just wasn't there, and it finally that slow start finally bit them in the butt.
Oh
I
yeah,
would say that.
turnovers. Obviously, you can't really excuse turnovers, but when you give a team the ball inside your 20 multiple times, they better take advantage of it. And I mean, that's the same thing Grambling did against Alabama A&M this year. A lot of turnovers in the red zone, and they capitalized in the points. So all those mistakes they made early in the season, they finally came back and bit them. So they just have to regroup, and hopefully for them, Travis Hunter carried them to the Celebration Bowl again. But we'll see.
Yeah. So you think it right before we get off of this? You think it was a good humbling experience for the young QB at Jackson State?
People, that people say that, but I'm of the position that you need to be as successful as much as you can. But if you need a learning experience, then yeah, this is such a such a learning experience because he basically breezed through the SWAC. I mean, he had his ups and downs, but he didn't have
Yeah.
a bad game. And this game, he had a bad game. People were actually saying he should have got benched. And so if he really want to be QB1, like he says, these are the games that make you in the QB1, learning from this and growing. So I think he's a competitor. So I think he's gonna push himself in. He's gonna get better.
Yeah. Last thing I say about that whole thing is I feel like they needed that game, and it's just only speaking from me wanting the SWAC to win. So whoever played in it, would have been all right. But Jackson State specifically, I think that they got the big head, and I think they needed a loss early in the season. Besides that non-conference loss, they probably needed one more loss to really get them locked in. But because like you said, they kind of breezed through, and they looking at this team's record. They looking at FAMU beat them, Alabama A&M beat them. I just think they really looked over them at the end of the day. They needed to be humbled. I think they'll come back next year more focused.
Yeah, I mean, and we could move on after this, but this was a team everybody overlooked. I know I did, man. I disrespected South Carolina State so much because they were 6-5. But if you know South Carolina State, Buddy Pugh gonna have them boys ready. They're gonna be physical, and that was the one thing I did keep saying is they're gonna be physical, and sometimes you don't know what you're gonna do. Like Mike Tyson used to say, everybody got a plan until you get punched in the mouth. So
Yeah.
the coach on the sideline for Jackson State, I think he got humbled a little bit. He was sitting there not looking too prime time during the game. You know, that second half, he looked really down in the dumps. So, you know, if they're gonna be a serious contender from year in and year out, these kind of games happen, and you got to grow from them.
Facts. What you been keeping up with any of the recruiting?
I've been trying to. I haven't really been too much. I know JSU doing what JSU do. You know, they getting a lot of kids, but other than that, Gramblin's been doing pretty good. Hugh Jackson, he's been in California getting a lot of big body receivers, and he's actually in Louisiana, you know, scouting hard, trying to get a kid from my old high school. So he's working hard. I know Coach Dooley is putting in work. Alabama A&M is loading up with transfers. I think Alabama State got a couple guys. But other than that, I haven't really heard, you know, any specific from anybody else. Where Valley's doing good too.
Valley
I
doing
think
good.
they getting some guys out the portal, man, and JUCO. Dancy trying to put something together. So it looks like it's going pretty good. So we'll see, you know, once we get to the regular signing day, because that's pretty much where the SWAC really make their mark. We don't really. I think JSU gonna push people to work more on the early signing day, but the regular signing day, I think we're gonna know a lot more.
How do you feel PV is going to do without a coach?
I made a banner just for that. What's going on at PV, man? I don't know. I've heard like 9 different things. You know, first, you know, I know at one point that even right after Dooley left, they were like they're gonna go with Bubba McDowell as the interim. He might get the job. Then it was Sumlin. Then it was KJ Black. Then it was TC Taylor. Now it's back to Bubba McDowell. I don't even know what's going on out there, man. You know, they trying to, you know, keep the team together, you know, without a direction. I don't know how you keep guys from leaving, and I don't know how you really recruit, because the guys who recruiting, well, number one, the whole staff is gone because everybody but Bubba McDowell is at Southern now. So all the guys are gone. So he's doing a one-man show right now. And I salute him, man. Whatever they paying him, he need to get double, because he gotta be putting in work. But it's hard to recruit when you don't even know if you're gonna beat us. So they need to make a decision. You know, it's too late to say, you know, make a rush move because you done took a month and a half. But they need to make a move at some point and commit one way or the other so they can start rolling, because guys are gonna start looking around to leave. You know, you got a lot of good guys on that team that might want out if they don't know which direction they're going. So I have no idea. What you think?
Man, I think they doing themselves a disservice waiting this long, man. Because like you said, these guys on the ground recruiting hard right now. I mean, I bet you every SWAC school is recruiting harder than they ever have because of the way JSU is doing. So, I mean, you're going to mess around and get left behind. And, you know, once your program get a year or two behind, it's hard to climb back up.
Oh,
You
yeah.
might go back to the PV of old, and you don't want to do that.
No, not with all that beautiful stuff you got on campus now. You don't want to express. And, you know, I know you're not technically supposed to, you know, tamper or talk to guys, you know, not on your team. But, you know, I'm sure some back channel talking is being done to some of those guys still at PV, you know. I mean, I would love for a dude like Jason Dumas to come to Southern, but I know it's not going to happen. But, you know, I would love for, you know, Coach Dooley to make a little phone call. I mean, First St. James is not that far from Baton Rouge. She got a couple cousins that Southern want to get on their football team. So, you know, I'm not saying that's happening, but I would love for it to happen. But if they don't make a decision at some point, man, they're going to end up getting a coach that they don't want. And that's going to really set you back. So hopefully they can make a smart move, because they took long enough. I don't even know what's going on. So hopefully we can get some clarity at some point, because we're going into 2022 and y'all still ain't hired nobody. I mean, Dooley been gone since October technically, so it's not a hire coach.
Yeah. Speaking of Dooley, I mean, what do you make of his staff? What you liking moving dang near the whole staff over? Or?
I like the direction he going. You know, I didn't think he was gonna bring everybody. I don't know who other than McDowell, who else he left there, but I like a lot of the coaches that he brought over. I like that he kept Chris Brown, who is one of the O line coaches and tight end coach at Southern. He kept him on the staff. He has a lot of guys who know Southern, so he pretty much got a good staff. Receiver coach played at Jackson State, so he got a SWAC flavor. They already know how to recruit the area. They already know how to recruit Southern in the South. So I think as far as that go, I think it's a good move. I was definitely happy he brought Henry Miller with him, the defensive coordinator, because that job they did in the SWAC championship was really good. And if you look at what PV defense did after Dooley got there, it got better every year. So hopefully we can rebound and get Southern defense back on track. So I think it was a good move. I like it.
Shout out to Coach Miller, man. He was at PB when I was in school down there. I know him personally.
So yeah,
He's a
see,
good guy. Yeah.
it's a lot of connections there, man. Everybody got somebody they know on that staff.
Yeah. What you think about Alabama State staff? Have you looked at them yet?
Yeah, I didn't research a lot of guys. I don't know very many of them. I know Jacoby Jones from being an NFL player, and I heard the offense coordinator from Morehouse. Other than that, I don't know too many other guys, so I can't really say. But I mean, every move he makes is going to be scrutinized. So I think it was I don't think he made any bad hires. I can't say he did, but I don't know if he made any splashes either. So just like his hiring, I'm just like on the fence. I don't know.
Yeah. Can people put some respect on his name? They call him, man, the real estate agent. they just disrespected him, man. He got to earn his respect.
He gonna have to earn his respect, man. He gonna have to earn his respect, and I know I don't know if he used to work for Century 21, but he could coach in one of them gold jackets. They look like Alabama State colors. So
Yeah.
until he wins a lot of games, he's gonna be the real estate agent, man. He gonna have to get rid of that by winning. So we'll see if he can do it, but it's tough. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, I'm about to go. I'm gonna go check him out, man. I'm excited to see what he's gonna do. You going to that Legacy Bowl? I've been
I
seeing a lot of guys selected. I got a ticket already. I'm
Oh, you
going.
going? I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to try to make the ride then, man. Hey, I got to
yeah,
be there too. If you gonna be there, I can't
yeah.
look
I
out.
gotta check it out. They let my boy in, so I
Oh
gotta go
yeah,
check him out.
I see they put that RB by his name, so I guess that's the position he gonna try to go pro with. Um,
That's I don't
hey,
know though, man. If you've been following the Legacy Bowl announcements, the first person they screwed up was Keontae Hampton from Jackson State, and then they screwed up Bishop Bonnet yesterday. They say he was an old lineman, so you can't really
okay,
trust what
well
they
yeah,
PR person.
oh,
You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
yeah, yeah. Because if Bishop Barnett is an offensive lineman, he hey he's a beast of a running back. Hey, no disrespect, dude is a monster running back, but I don't think he want to be an old lineman, and
Nah,
so I'm eager to see, man. I think I think this is a good thing. They got a lot of big name guys in there. This you know you got to roll it out with the name. So hopefully it'd be something to build on, and I'll be eager to check it out. How much was the tickets?
uh, I want to say I got a really good ticket for like $25 or something like that, but some of them less than that.
Oh, that ain't
Yeah,
that's pretty
and you
good.
ain't got to pay all them extra fees on Ticketmaster. You buying it from Tulane, it's gonna be at Tulane.
Oh yeah, at Ullman.
Yeah, so it's very affordable, man. And I just hope that we can show up and support these guys for potentially some of their last, games.
Yeah, we did this totally unplanned. So um I put my shirt on earlier. I
Yeah,
didn't know what he was doing, but hey, great minds do think alike. So we're a team, we dress in the same uniform.
right.
But yeah, man, I'm eagerly looking forward to this. This and the HBCU combine. I think these are steps to take to start to really get some guys noticed. And the this is the first year that this is really gonna be a big year for the SWAC. A lot of talented guys are there. I know a lot of guys are who are juniors, but they've been they had that COVID year, so they might technically be seniors, but they're juniors. they coming out early. So it's a lot of guys who trying to throw their name in the hat for the NFL. So hopefully we can get a few guys in there. I don't know if you watched the game Sunday. I missed it, but Danny Johnson from Southern actually got to start for Washington um, against Dallas on Sunday. It was a bad game for him to start that game, but I hate that my team did that to him. But that's a guy who went undrafted, had a good Senior Bowl, but went undrafted because he was not the biggest guy, and he's been in the NFL, since 2017, 2018. So there's an avenue to make it. Getting your name called is not the only way to make it, but hopefully we can get a few guys in there and get some guys who actually get some playing time on the field.
Yeah, that's one thing I want to do. Maybe next week do a small segment if we have any young viewers or any coaches or people who got cousins that's playing the game. Speak on people that are currently playing in the NFL that's from HBCUs. Oftentimes, we throw out the older names, but we need to talk about some of these current players that's playing now that's doing well. So because younger kids can see them, they can identify those guys. They don't have to say, "Oh man, that was way back," in '60s. So I think next week I'm gonna compile a list of current guys. I know some off the top of my head, but I just want to make sure I cover everything.
Oh yeah, that'd be on point right there. And like you said, with everybody always throw out the names, Walter Payton, Jerry Rice, Steve McNair, all those guys. The majority of people haven't seen those guys play. I mean, I'm too young to see Walter Payton. I saw Jerry Rice play. I
Yeah,
was like 9 years old. I didn't understand, what I was really watching in terms of greatness. All the dudes looked the same to me. They had 5 receivers on the field. I didn't know which one he was at all times. Steve McNair probably was the first guy that I recognized that as a SWAC player, this dude is legit. I was a senior in high school. When he played at Southern, he played against Southern in '93. Oh man, packed house. Guys like Charlie Ward was there. Warwick Dunn, a couple other FSU guys were on the sideline. Man, the stadium was packed. Southern beat him, but he put on a show. Then the next year, ESPN2 broadcast, he broke Ty Detmer's record for total yardage against Southern. So guys like that, I had the fortune of seeing, but no, a lot of other people didn't. So a guy like a Danny Johnson or Darius Leonard, guys like that, people they're right there that you can see, see play. So yeah, it'd be good to throw a list together like that.
yes, sir. Yeah, I just really feel like that needs to happen, even from Shannon Sharp on down. Like they constantly throw out the McNairs, which needs to be said, but there are guys right now tearing it up in the league. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying? So we need to highlight those guys.
and I do want to say, going to the old guys, not enough respect has been thrown on the name of Doug Williams, man. I don't know if he got lost in the shuffle because he coached at Grambling, but a lot of people don't put the respect on his name that he deserved, man. He was the first NFL player really to be a SWAC coach, and he was successful at Grambling before everything happened. So I think people should really put more respect on Doug Williams.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, from the player and the coach. I don't think he get enough credit for what he did as a coach there either. So
Oh yeah,
I, I
I
mean,
mean, if you shout out to Big Thrillo out there, man. How you doing today? Good to have you on the journey with us. But yeah, I mean,
yeah,
you know what Grambling was when Doug took over. He turned that program around like the next year. They went from a 3-18 to 7-4, and SWAC champs multiple years after that. So I don't think his name really come up in great coaching because he coached his butt off at Grambling, man. I hated to watch Southern play against his teams, but he he was a good guy, man, good player. He
oh
definitely
yeah,
was a beast at QB.
he he is the one who pretty much made me into a Gremlin fan for several years. When I started watching them in like the Bruce Eugene years, I was probably junior high, but man, I would love Grambling. I used to want to go to Grambling so bad, but it was Doug Williams and Bruce Eugene and Landry Carter, Ab Quan, Clyde Edwards, all them guys, man.
Ooh, well, you naming so many dudes. Oh
Yeah,
man, and a lot of them dudes like Tremont Douglas,
yeah,
Calvin Spears, those are Baton Rouge guys, man. Zachary, Doug Williams is from Cheneyville, which is right up the street from where my parents live. So they love Baton Rouge guys. So a lot of great Grambling people. Trumaine Johnson, hell, Eddie Robinson is from down here. So
yeah.
it's just this the Grambling roots are thick, and I'm not trying to turn this into a Doug Williams love fest, but Doug Williams was his pull was so strong, man. For one game, he had me as a Washington Redskins fan. So that if anything can have, if anybody got a pull, then that's a big pull right there. So I just want to, give the man just a little credit, man, because I don't think he really gets the credit he deserves.
I got a question. I think I might have asked you this. If I have, let me know. Melvin Spears, hey, real quick. So if everybody don't know that I'm back in school pursuing my master's in sport administration, and I took a legal aspects class, and teacher had us always do different case studies, and it was Melvin Spears versus Grambling State. And man, the stuff that Melvin Spears was doing at Grambling, I did not know all that crap was going on, man. I was, a kid, but this man was doing some stuff. I don't really got time to go through all of it, but man, that dude was a character.
Oh yeah, dark shades, Melvin Spears, man. But this,
Man,
hey, now this I did not know. Bruce Eugene signed with TSU, and they tried to change his position. That's
I knew he was supposed to go there. I didn't know he signed, but I heard him talk about it on an interview. Rolling with the G. Matter of fact, Grambling was doing that series. He
oh
talked
yeah, I
about,
remember that. But I
yeah,
wasn't paying too much attention.
yeah. I think he talks about him supposed to go to TSU at that time, and something happened, and he ended up going to Grambling.
Talk about when they got away. And Scotty Anderson, man, another great wide receiver. I thank Scotty for dropping that touchdown in the Bayou Classic that year, though, man. The dude was wide open, and he dropped it. So I forever will love Scotty Anderson after that. So that's our Gremlin Love Fest, man. I don't know how much more I can do, y'all. Y'all beat us this year. I don't know what else I can do.
Yeah,
You
I
say you
can
had a
talk.
question for me?
Yeah. I'm gonna get back to that,
All right.
but is Bowling Green, is that a step up from the SWAC to you?
Oh man,
So we talk about these FCS schools or lower level FBS. How much of it is a step up? Like, do you feel like it's what separates us from them?
on paper, it's the them 85 scholarships. That's the difference. I don't. I mean, obviously we don't have a lot of success against these kind of teams, but the difference to me in money between that level and FCS period is not that great. And that's why I think you see a lot of teams who are really good FCS teams beat those kind of teams and beat them soundly. So I don't think if you're looking at it from that level, that is a huge gap. Now, the SWAC is a little bit different. We still finding our way in a lot of ways, but I don't think it's like this huge gap. It's not like going to like UCF or somewhere, like
Yeah,
that mid gap team. You know, anybody in the AAC or the Mountain West, that's a little bit different. But to me, like the MAC, I don't think that's that huge of a jump. Or even the South, even the Sun Belt, I don't think that's a
but
huge jump. So I personally feel like if you're gonna make a move like that, it feel like a rush move, which I don't understand why.
yeah, that was just gonna be my question. Like, how come we can't beat out teams like that? Like, to me, we should be able to beat out uh some of those teams. Like, what are you going there for? You ain't gonna. There's no more visibility, no more nothing to me. Maybe
Oh yeah,
money, I guess.
and I don't even think that because when you play in the MAC, and I'm just gonna stick with that, you playing on Tuesdays and Wednesday nights in front of empty stadiums, man. Now, yeah, people like me who love to watch football and to watch any football,
Anything, yeah, me too.
I watch, but the average person, man, they not gonna watch that. They don't
No,
even know that the games are taking place. So the exposure is not really there. So nobody can name a lot of guys that come from them schools either. So it's I don't think it's a huge jump, to me. Now, on the field it might be, but I think that gap can be leveled to a degree.
I think we heading that way. I think it's gonna be leveled as much as it possibly can. Like you said, due to scholarships, I think that's just where we heard at. We don't have the amount of scholarships, but I mean, I just don't think. I don't know. I don't know. I can't really say, but that's just odd to me. So when I'm looking at these guys in the portal, I mean, if you're gonna go up, do the Dalen Baldwin, go up to Michigan.
Oh yeah, you go up, then go up. You know,
Yeah,
Regis Stubblefield, he went to Kansas State. I forgot somebody went to Louisville. So yeah, if you're gonna go up, go up. If you're not, you might want to stay FCS. You know,
yeah.
it ain't got to be SWAC, but James Madison or somewhere, that's the same level of team. Hell, I think James Madison or somebody like that might be better than a lot of a lot of those teams in that, especially in that league. They
Oh
they
yeah.
they to me they the FBS SWAC, man. They got their own little thing that they do, and they don't deviate from it. And so I don't really think the gap is that huge. It's closing, but it's gonna take some more time. But I do think it's closing.
Yeah, I just wanted to run that by you, man. I really got to thinking, like, man, that don't make a whole lot of sense to me. I'm not the brightest guy though, so maybe maybe I'm missing something. But
Well, I mean, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer either. So sometimes I might see something and I take it another way. But I just personally think, man, dudes, and I guess I talk about the portal a little bit because we like kind of just bouncing
yeah,
around. I really think, man, I think the portal is gonna wreck college football in the next 5 years, man. I don't know if you saw it, but Texas State, they coach say he not even recruiting high school guys no more. He looking strictly at portal guys, and so that drops a whole level of high school guy down another level. So it's all for one, and one for all, trying to get it going. So I think guys are getting in the portal with not the best advice. I think I saw somewhere like only 25% of guys who go in the portal actually get a destination. So excuse me. So guys are going in the portal and don't really got nowhere to go, and they just stuck in limbo. So I think something's gonna have to change at some point, or else you're just gonna have a whole team in the portal and see what happens.
well, I don't know if you saw what Dion said his recruiting method was. What was it, like 40-40-20?
Yeah,
And 20% is only high school kids. 40% transfers, 40% grad students.
yeah.
So he said that 20% high school. So where are these high school kids gonna go?
That's what I'm saying, man. If you start at the Power Five level and you got a team like Florida State who taking up to 10 transfers, that drops guys down a level. But then you got a team like Texas State who trying to take all. And then if you got a SWAC team that's doing the same thing, then you are going to end up with guys who should be playing FCS ball, playing D2 ball. And there's no disrespect to D2 football because a lot of good guys play there.
Oh yeah.
But guys are going to go JUCO more. And guys are just going to drop because people love the portal, man. Getting a guy who already got college experience, whether they played or not, is a whole lot better than trying to mold a kid and develop him from day one. So some people don't have a problem with that 1 year rental. If I get a guy to port, I'd rather he have a couple years. But you know, it's just becoming a free for all. So if he keep that model, then they're gonna always be a team with a lot of upperclassmen guys. The only problem to me with that is you're not always gonna get a James Houston out the portal. So you can't keep thinking that your team is gonna stay on top by getting those kind of guys because those kind of guys not always gonna fall in your lap. So you got to be careful. It's a crapshoot.
What about? I mean, I know we're gonna phase into basketball, but I look at it like this: it's almost like a bunch of one and dones or a bunch of different. I mean, I can call them misfits or whatever you want to call trying to gel together. Team chemistry is a huge part sometimes too. And
Guys like that because you're eventually going to end up with a team that can't do what the other ones did. So if you can get a team and build them up, and then hopefully hold on to them, the success is a lot better. But to me, the problem is when you get guys and you build them up, now you got to start watching out for people
yeah,
hovering around. Because
yeah,
trust me, them eyes they on TSU, man. People watching, people got binoculars watching Andrew Body, man. So don't think somebody not gonna get in his ear, and try to convince him, which I don't, I would never want that to happen. But I'm just saying, guys like that, people watch, and so you really have that becomes one of the major things and keep your team together now is to keep guys from leaving because if something go wrong, they're gonna be out. So it's dangerous. It's definitely a dangerous thing.
I don't know what to say, but hopefully, ain't no sense in looking at the future that far. I'm just hope we have a good season next season because
Oh yeah,
it's just
I mean,
getting crazy.
all you can do is take it, season by season. So,
Yeah.
this season was a success to the most part. So I think next season will be even better.
So what y'all got up with basketball, man?
Whoo, man, we Southern men's team is actually playing pretty well this year, man. They are 6-7. They picked up quite a few Division 1 wins, which is something they don't normally do. They beat Kent State on a last second layup. They beat Tennessee State by a last second shot. They beat Southeastern in a pretty solid game. So I think this team is gonna be a factor in the SWAC. They just don't have no size, and that makes me nervous against a team like Texas Southern. So um, I think they're gonna challenge. They're gonna play defense really aggressively. That's what they do. They turn you over, and I think they'll have that opportunity to do that. But I don't know. I think the size difference is gonna really be the problem for Southern. But you can't go wrong with the Texas schools. So I think they're gonna both be in the mix at the end, and can't count on JSU either because that team is always, regardless of who's on that team, the team is always scrappy, man. They play good defense, and they're gonna get in your shorts, so to speak.
Well, I don't know. I don't really know what PV is actually going to look like. They show flashes of being decent, and then they don't look so well. Sometimes we lost one guy, Sean Doss, last year. Well, this season actually, he's playing up at like Southern Illinois or something like that. But that was a big piece. But we got a couple transfers in. Sean Williams, point guard. I watched him play in high school, but this is probably like his fourth school. He was just down in Nickel State like last year or
Uh,
something like that. But I don't know if that's a good thing or what. He started out at ECU, then went to New Mexico State, then Nickel State, now you're at UAPB. So I
yeah, that's a
really,
lot of that's a lot of bouncing around. But for 1 year, maybe he can stay focused on. I don't know what his issue is, but
yeah,
guys like that can help you,
he
especially in
can
the SWAC.
ball. Yeah,
So Southern team is loaded with guys like that, man. We have guys that been to 2 or 3 different schools, and actually those guys are our key contributors right now, which to me is one of the reasons why Southern playing a little bit better. But like it starts and ends with Texas Southern, so we get to see TSU firsthand on Monday, and um I will be there. And I do want to say, man, I don't know about, I can't speak for nobody else, but Southern basketball attendance is horrible, man. People do not come to the games anymore. Um, I don't know what happened. Even when we was winning under Roman Banks, people still wasn't coming to the games. I you got to go back to like the '90s to see a pack mini dome. So, um, if any of y'all in the Baton Rouge area, man, tickets only $10. Come out and support the SWAC. You ain't got to be a Southern fan, but just come and sit in one of those seats, man. Please, we need y'all. Especially Monday. So if y'all can get here Monday, we could really use the help. Oh, you talking about Malachi Wyman? Oh, that
Yeah,
dude's a beast.
yeah.
That dude's a beast, man. I love his game on football and basketball, man. He's just an athletic monster. He gonna really put some people on posters in the SWAC. So he one of those guys that just can do what he do off athleticism. So he gonna flourish in the SWAC.
So he's actually playing on JSU team.
I don't know if he's playing yet, but I heard he was supposed to be. So he may, if he hadn't yet, he probably will be in the next week or so. But I know he was supposed to be playing basketball because he was supposed to play basketball at Tennessee too when he went there. So
Yeah.
we'll see. That's hard to juggle in college. Multiple sports, but we'll see. But he's definitely a really good basketball player.
Yeah, some of them have done it. I've seen a couple do it, play both. So hopefully he'll get a chance to do it. I'm all about basically doing everything you can do in college, man, and just enjoying it. Don't worry about going pro all the time, this and that. Just enjoy it because it go by so quick, man.
Oh yeah, just like you said, take it all in.
Yeah.
Get that college experience, and because you don't ever want to look back. When you get older, you're always looking back, and you don't ever want to think about what you missed. So always, that's a little life lesson to people out there. Just enjoy, the opportunity you get, because a lot of guys would really kill to be in the position some of these kids are in. So, I really hope they take, they really take advantage of the opportunities that they have, because there's a lot of guys who would really love to be in that same position. So,
You
just make
talking
the
to
best
one
of
of them
what you
right
got.
now. That's why I say that. I understand. I'm that guy that's always looking back. So don't do that. Just enjoy. Even if you're not an athlete, just enjoy college, enjoy your youth. Don't rush to be grown. You start making money, you start accumulating bills, and they don't stop. So
Yeah, that if there's one thing I could say that I learned in my life, man, is that once them bills start coming, they never stop. Um, my even when you leave this earth, man, bills still be coming for you. It's like they don't care. I'm like, if the person not here anymore, how can they pay the bill? So why even send it? But
right.
just take advantage of every opportunity, man. And kids coming in this swag now, they got an opportunity that's greater than anything that's ever been out there. So hopefully, people can see what's going on, and every school takes advantage of this, man. I don't want to see nobody miss out on a good piece of the pie. Now everybody can't be Dion, everybody can't be Florida and them, but you can still make the best out of your situation. So it's different lanes to get to the same place. So hopefully everybody can do what they need to do to get where they want to go.
Speaking of that, where I can see some of the HBCU or SWAC basketball games? I just checked. I don't think they're gonna be on ESPN Plus or nothing like that. So
I hadn't heard anything with basketball, so you're probably not gonna be able to catch much. I know Valley usually broadcast some things. I think Alabama and them, they broadcast some games. Pine Bluff do too, don't it?
sometimes, I mean,
Yeah, I think you're probably gonna end up having to, go through either the school YouTube or the school sites.
yeah.
I hadn't really heard any TV games yet in basketball. I'm gonna have to look and see.
Okay. If anybody out there know of something weekly, let us know in the comments or something where we can catch y'all school or any school that you know of.
And if Southern ever is on TV, man, I guarantee y'all will see me. I mean, ain't but 30 people there, but y'all will see me there. So, um, I really want a good crowd, man. I wish the TSU game was later in the season, because I know a lot of people usually come from Houston, but I don't know if they're gonna have a turnout on a Monday. Usually we play them on Saturdays, which is always good. So, like YouTube is probably gonna be your best bet. You know, and that's always hit or miss depending on what school is doing it. Because I don't think Southern broadcasts anything. And after what they did for football, I wouldn't really want anybody watching that stuff.
So before we get out of here, put you on the spot. Give me your basketball, your male winners and your female winners. SWAC prediction.
Women, I go with JSU, man. That team is awesome. You know, they pretty much mowed through everybody in the SWAC last year, and I don't expect too much size and skill on that team. And I mean, it's kind of cheating because I go TSU, man. You know, they don't have the best record right now, but when SWAC play comes, they always turn it up a notch. Outside of them, I would say maybe Prairie View or Grambling. Grambling always been sneaky good the last couple of years. And in the non-conference, Pine Bluff women have been playing pretty well. So, you know, I don't know what they'll do when conference play starts, but you know, that's a team that's been winning a couple of games out of conference.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be pretty decent, man. I don't think they have a lot of perimeter shooters, and they have some big girls down low. One of them don't seem like she can get up and down the court that well, but they have a decent scrappy squad, but they don't do any one thing great in my opinion. I watched them play SMU last night, maybe the night before last, but they kind of disappointed me. They was in that game and they just let it get out of hand. But I think they're getting better and better each year up under this new coach, Miss Thornton. Y'all got no. He went to Grambling, huh? Cedric Thornton, her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to Grambling. But yeah, right now I guess I got to go with JSU until somebody show us different on the female side. The male side, I kind of want to go against the grain on that one, man, against TSU, even though nobody's giving me a reason, you know, to do it. But just for the sake, I'm gonna go with Grambling.
Yeah, I think, you know, Grambling been a team that's been pretty solid the last few years. They haven't been spectacular, but
Yeah,
they find a way to win games. I wouldn't count out Southern, but like I said, Southern just don't have no size, and eventually that's gonna catch up to you. Um, to me, you know what you do what you do in regular season is all good, but the tournament is where it's at. So you need to be able to win 3 games in a row, and I don't know if Southern got the consistency for that. And that's why I go with TSU because I think they just have a program that's consistent. They don't
right.
really turn over a lot of guys. And the same thing with JSU women. They don't really turn over a lot of players. So they had a consistency to make it through the tournament. So until somebody prove me different, then yeah, I'm a pretty much stick with the two. Um, Real quick though, what you think about the Florida schools? I mean, nobody really talking about them in basketball at all. I haven't
Yeah,
really
I
heard too
don't
much
really
about
know
either
much
one of them.
about them. So in basketball, so I don't know. I hope they bring some good competition to the SWAC.
Yeah, I
Though,
mean,
honestly,
I don't want to add 2 teams, you know, below Valley. You know,
yeah.
no, Valley is, you know, they good sometimes. They bad a
Valley,
lot
they
of
got to
times.
come up like they doing in football. Maybe Valley will show us something in basketball. We'll have something to root for. Go Valley.
Yeah, man, Valley need a athletic department turnover. Man, Dancy set the stage for and the standard for everybody in Valley. Follow what he doing, and you'll be all right.
Don't forget about Prairie View girls. They normally pretty good too.
Oh yeah, they solid too.
Yeah,
And again, Southern women's basketball team is pretty solid. You know, I don't think they're championship caliber, but I think they're the kind of team that can get in the mix. And you know, sometimes teams like that can find themselves in the championship, but they probably won't win it. But they play pretty solid defense too. They don't have the best. They don't really have great shooting, so that's kind of always gonna be a problem to me. If you can't shoot, I mean, obviously if you can't shoot, you can't score. But on the road, if you can't shoot, then you really up a tree. So I think if the shooting gets better, they got a better chance. But right now, I I really like those couple of teams we named.
I got 2 wives too. One at Alabama A&M. I like their team. They play really, really, really hard. And then I mean I don't know what TSU girls been doing, but I like to watch Cynthia Cooper coach from the sideline too. So
Oh man, Cynthia Cooper going back to my young days, man. Oh my, oh
yeah,
that whole what the I can't choose the comments. That whole team, man. Oh my
yeah,
God, that's throwback. But yeah,
yeah,
just address this comment real quick. Yeah, a lot of talent in Mississippi, man. TSU used to constantly get guys out of Jackson, but Coach Brent played good defense. His teams always play real good defense, so you could really count on that. You know, if they get consistent shooting, they always gonna be a problem. But defensively, they're gonna really, really make some things happen.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
He got
Shaq
some
got killed at
kids,
TSU
bro.
this year.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. So we'll see.
yeah.
We'll see.
Son and a daughter, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe Shaq could buy some tickets for people to come to the game. Put together a bus trip.
Yeah.
I'm gonna personally fill up the mini dome for one game on this show some kind of way. I'm gonna fill it up. I'm gonna keep bothering people till they come.
Well, man, I guess I'm gonna get out of here, man.
All right, yeah, man. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same, man. I'm about to try to eat me some dinner and relax for the new
Yeah.
year come around, man. We about to hit 2022.
Yep. Let's see what the SWAC conference brings in basketball.
Yeah, so once we come to you guys next week, we will be in 2022, and we will be 2 games into the SWAC season. So we'll be able to talk some SWAC basketball next week, and hopefully Prairie View be to have a coach by then. Um, I really don't want them to go too much longer without a coach because I don't know what's gonna happen after that. So hopefully we have some news on that. But other than that, man, I don't have nothing else. So um, we'll holler at y'all next week.
Holla.